Logical Dad.
The Empty Throne. Once upon a time, in a kingdom between rivers and rolling hills, the day had come for the king to announce his successor. The palace courtyard was full with people, their voices buzzing with excitement as they gathered beneath the royal balcony. The banners of the kingdom fluttered in the wind, and the royal guards stood tall in shining armor. High above, on the balcony, the aging king stood with his 3 children, Edward, Isabella, and James. His silver crown caught the morning light as he raised his hand for silence. "My time as ruler is nearing its end," he declared. "My mind is not as sharp as it once was, and my hands grow weary with age. One of my children shall take my place, but who that shall be, I do not yet know. The weeks ahead will reveal who among them is truly fit to rule." Edward stepped forward first, his chest puffed out with pride. "I promise our people greatness," he declared. "I will build tall towers, create vast armies, and ensure our land becomes the strongest in the world." Isabella gave a confident nod. "I will see that our people thrive," she said. "I will ensure no one goes without, and our kingdom prospers under kindness and generosity." James simply stood quietly, watching the crowd below. He did not make promises or boast. His siblings exchanged glances. "Does he not care for the throne?" Edward scoffed. "Perhaps ruling is too great a task for him," Isabella whispered. The days that followed revealed much about the 3 heirs. Edward stood before the people, delivering great speeches about the future. "Our kingdom will be mighty," he proclaimed. "We will build great castles and roads that stretch beyond the mountains." The people cheered and celebrated with optimism. Isabella took another approach. She ordered beautiful silks from faraway lands to decorate the city, often handing roses to villagers in the market. "A ruler must be generous," she said, "so that the people will love them." The villagers accepted her gifts with gratitude, but as the weeks passed, they saw that their struggles remained the same. Meanwhile, James lived as he always had. He worked alongside the villagers, helping them mend fences. He carried bricks for the builders repairing homes. When someone needed help, he offered it. When he made a promise, he kept it. He spent so much time in the village that the local children referred to him as Uncle Jim, a name that caught on even with the market vendors and townsfolk who used it with affection. Until one night, a terrible storm swept through the kingdom, tearing roofs from houses and flooding the roads. By morning, the people were desperate. They rushed to Edward, expecting bold plans, but he only said, "Do not worry, I will deliver a solution soon." Yet no solution came. They turned to Isabella, hoping for aid, but she did not know what to do. She had spent so much time and money showering the village in decoration, she didn't have any more to pay workers to rebuild. Then they saw James, not in the palace, but in the village, hammering beams into broken homes and helping lift fallen trees from the road. He did not make promises or speeches, he simply got to work alongside the people. A day passed, and as the king stood upon the royal balcony once more, he looked out at the gathered crowd, who were tired from working. The villagers' clothes were damp and dirty from the storm, and as the crowd grew increasingly unhappy, unruly chatter started to rise among the disgruntled townsfolk. Just then, as James approached his father's side, a child's voice rose above the rest. "Uncle Jim! Uncle Jim!" One exhausted farmer wrestled to the front and shouted righteously, "The only king I know is King James." A chant spread, growing louder and louder, until the entire courtyard echoed with their voices. "King James! King James!" The king turned to James and smiled. "A ruler is not made by words or wealth, but by action. The throne is no longer empty." The crowd roared with triumph. And so, without ever trying, James became king, not because he sought power, but because he had always been a leader. That evening, after the grand ceremony, James found his father in the quiet moonlit gardens of the palace. As James approached, his voice was uncertain. "Father," he said softly, "I don't want this. Why did you not choose Edward or Isabella? They wanted it. They spoke of great things. They promised so much more than I ever did." The king turned to him with a knowing smile. "And that, my son, is exactly why you must lead." James frowned. "I don't understand." His father placed a hand on his shoulder. "Your brother desired power. Your sister sought love. But you, my son, never desired anything for yourself. You only ever did what was right. That is what a true leader does, not rule for their own sake, but for the sake of others." James was quiet for a long moment. He looked out over the kingdom, where the lights of the village flickered warmly in the distance. He thought of the people, of the farmers, the builders, and the children who relied on him. He took a deep breath and nodded. "Then I will lead, not for the throne, but for the people." And with that, the kingdom knew its future was in good hands. Dear Mom and Dad, a powerful speech can inspire, but without action, even the finest words can lead to disappointment. People judge not only by what we say, but from what we do. Integrity is rare, but actions always reveal character. If you're ever unsure of someone's intentions, don't just listen, observe. And if you're trying to understand who's responsible for something, look to who benefits. History has shown us that true leaders do not seek power for its own sake, but take responsibility for the good of others. General George Washington set a timeless example when he resigned his commission as Commander-in-Chief, ensuring that America would become a democracy instead of a military dictatorship or monarchy. His decision was a demonstration of self-sacrifice for the greater good, reminding us that leadership is not about holding power, but knowing when to let it go.